Episode 201, Double Trouble. Lucas's three companions glared at Lindsay with giddy anticipation. "That's right, Lucas. The four of us could definitely make this girl happy," said another thug, laughing. "I don't know if she could handle us all, but it's exciting to think about." Lindsay blushed with shame. Lucas leaned over her and smiled. "Who's your daddy, huh?" "Her name is Lindsay," Alex said. "She's the second daughter of the Marvel family. We're just hanging out." The four gangsters started laughing. Lucas looked at Alex. "Aren't the Marvels one of the richest families in Washington? Do you really think people like that would go to a place like this? And even if they did, would she go out with a loser like you? But you were smart about it. I've heard that the Marvels are rich, but you really went out of your way to pose as a real Marvel girl." Lucas glared at Lindsay, rubbed his chin and smiled. "Gorgeous. You may not be a Marvel, but I'm sure you're even better." He winked at the other three gangsters, and they all moved toward Alex. The other guests, sensing that a fight was breaking out, all stepped away from the barbecue stand. If Alex had been alone, he would have moved away as well. But he was with Lindsay. Since he feared they might trap her and harass her, he put himself between her and them. The thugs rushed Alex with raised fists. Alex kicked one of them over, and two of the others went to help him get back up. Lucas looked around, picked up a wooden bench, and threw it at Alex. Alex reached out to block Lindsay, and the bench struck him on the elbow. He cried out in pain. "Are you okay?" Lindsay asked him. "It doesn't matter." Alex didn't have time to care about his elbow. He grabbed Lindsay and pulled her toward the chef's cooking area. The chef had left, but the fire was still burning. The gangsters all rushed at Alex again with grim smiles on their faces. They were all looking forward to catching him and giving him a good beating. Alex threw a plate of vegetables into the fire, and the gangsters were caught completely off guard. Roasted vegetables and oil splashed onto their faces, and it all burned so hotly that they could focus on nothing but wiping it off. As they did so, they shouted angrily at Alex. "Now you're asking for it," shouted one. "I'm gonna blow your head off," shouted another. Their faces were twisted with anger, and their lips trembled as they spoke. They were completely enraged, and they glared at Alex as if they wanted to tear his skin off. "Guys, let's grab some tools and have a proper fight," Lucas said to the others. The four men pulled themselves together and picked up plastic chairs to shield them from anything else Alex might throw at them. "Alex!" Lindsay anxiously grabbed Alex's hand. "Don't be afraid," he told her with a smile. He opened the barbecue frame, used the tongs to pick up a piece of red charcoal from the fire, and threw it at Alex. It hit him in the head, and his blonde hair burned. The other three helped to put out the fire, slapping hard on Lucas's head. When the fire was put out, there was almost no hair left. Alex did not wait for them to finish. He picked up another piece of charcoal and threw it at the remaining three. He was a skilled fighter and had very good aim. The charcoal rained down on the three thugs, striking them in the buttocks, thighs, and feet. They squealed like pigs. They didn't dare make another move toward him. "You think you're awesome, huh? Do you even know who we usually hang out with? Derek Jackson. I'll call him right now." Lucas took out his cell phone and called Derek. "Hey Derek, it's Lucas Pierce. I've been attacked down by the river. Sure, I'll wait for you here. I'll get more people. Guess what, punk? Derek will be here soon. You're in for a beating, Lucas yelled. He and the other gangsters each picked up a bench, used them to box in Alex and Lindsay, and then sat down. You can't run. When our people come, I'll make you kneel and squeal for me. The onlookers had heard that Lucas had called Derek. They all looked dejected and anxious. Derek Jackson is the worst guy in this area. No one crosses him, someone murmured. Someone else responded. Yes, I remember that guy from last time. Derek broke his arm and threw him into the river, and the police didn't dare do anything. I don't think these two will make it. He'll probably take the girl to a hotel, and the boy's legs will be broken. I'm calling my dad now, Lindsay said, taking out her cell phone. Just then, a young man and a woman came walking up to the crowd. It was David and Leona. What's going on here? David asked. Why is there no barbecue? When Lindsay heard his voice, she was shocked. She hid behind Alex, pulled her clothes around her and whispered, Give me your jacket. Alex was surprised. He took off his coat and gave it to Lindsay, who immediately put it on and turned her back to them. Just then, Alex saw the newcomers and couldn't help but be glad at seeing Leona. David had asked Leona what she wanted to eat, and Leona had thought of this place. It was a little way to walk, but David had agreed. It was a very lucky coincidence for Alex and Lindsay. No barbecue means no barbecue. Get out of here! Lucas shouted at David. With just a look from David, his bodyguard Tom immediately sprang into action. He grabbed Lucas by the collar, lifted him with one hand and threw him to the ground. Lucas screamed bitterly. He felt as if he had broken several ribs. Keep your hands off our friend. Do you have any idea who you're messing with? We're Derek's people. The other gangsters stood up and jeered angrily at Tom. Filthy scum! Do you know who this is? He is... Tom almost blurted out David's identity, but David stopped him with a gesture. Seeing this, the gangsters continued taunting Tom. Oh, you're in trouble now, said the thug. Apologize, or we'll make you suffer. You're too impulsive for your own good, said another. The onlookers looked back and forth between David and Lucas. Alex and Lindsay had seemed doomed just moments ago, but now they had backup. Suddenly, no one was sure who would win. Alex called out to Leona. She noticed him, but she didn't want to talk to him. Do you know these people? David asked with obvious surprise. This guy looks like a total loser, he thought. How could she know such a person? He's my schoolmate, Leona answered with a faint smile. I see. David and Leona went over to Alex. Leona could just see the strange figure standing behind him, huddled in his coat. Although the person was clearly trying to hide, Leona could easily tell it was Lindsay. Leona's heart leapt to her throat. Lindsay is David's fiancée, and she's here at the barbecue with another man. How will David react when he finds out? What's the matter? David asked with a smile. My friend and I were having a barbecue, Alex said, pointing to the gangsters. These four came up and asked us for money, and then said they were going to beat us. Your friend? David was perplexed by the strange woman who stood behind Alex, wearing a man's coat and covering her head. She's sick and afraid of catching a cold, that's all. Alex was wondering why Lindsay was behaving so strangely. I see. David decided not to worry about it. Where's the owner of the barbecue stand? Come and make us something. Leona, let's see what you want to eat. David said as if nothing had happened. Don't act like you're in charge. When my boss comes, we'll see if you're still laughing, Lucas said angrily. He didn't dare to insult David. He was too afraid of Tom. Okay, I'll wait, David said with a smile. Then he once again called for the owner of the barbecue stand, and he and Leona started ordering food. David asked Alex to sit down and eat, but Lindsay pinched Alex gently in the back, and Leona gave David a disapproving look. Then, David and Leona sat down at a table and calmly ate kebabs. Alex was shocked. This guy is so brave, he thought. Derek Jackson is coming, and he doesn't seem to care. Suddenly, several black cars drove up and stopped by the side of the road. Over 20 people got out, all young and wearing black clothes. One of them was a long-haired youth in a black suit. This was Derek. When the 4 gangsters saw that he had arrived, they ran to him as if to a savior. Derek, you're here. Derek! They hit us, Derek. Please help us. They all pleaded to him. Damn it, who did this to you? Derek asked as he looked Lucas over. Didn't you mention my name? Well, Derek, they apparently don't care who you are, Lucas answered. You have to clear this up and raise your prestige. Otherwise, everyone's going to try to bully us. Seems that I've been out of it for a while and these people have forgotten who I am. Derek grinded his teeth. Where are these punks? I'll cut them open. Over there. We have them surrounded, and we're not letting them run away. I'll show you. Lucas led the way gleefully. See, there are 2 people standing over there, and those 2 are their friends. They're so arrogant that they're sitting over there eating, even though we told them you were coming. That's them. He pointed to the backs of David and Leona. Hey boy, Derek Jackson is here and you're still eating? Derek shouted angrily. David turned around slowly and smiled at him. When Derek saw that it was David, the anger on his face disappeared. His lips began to shake. His eyes became frightened and worried. His legs started trembling, and he almost fell to the ground. David?